my sawmill. We have a lot to do, so let's get started. Our first piece is this one right here on the mill.
So on this one, sorry, bouncing all over the place here. About 19 inches that way, and about 19 that way. And this is the smaller end. The other end's a little harder to check because it's got the cut from when they fill this tree. But it's a little bit bigger than that. That's the first piece. I'm going to try and get some 2-inch thick slabs out of it. We do have some issues. There's some rot here and here. Hopefully that doesn't go too far into it. The one on this end, however, is a little worse. So my slabs are going to come above. Can't even see the camera here. Okay, they're going to come above this rot pocket right here. Okay, this one's the next one up the tree. Still, this stuff's been on the ground for probably a couple of years, maybe longer. So that rot pocket we saw on the big piece, you can see it now on this piece. And the truth is, right on the side here, that hole right there in the tree is what caused all that rot pocket. Okay, I got 4 more pieces over here that I'm going to cut. This one actually is going to be kind of interesting. It's a crotch piece from the top of these other two we just looked at. It's a little bit wide. I won't quite be able to fit that on the mill, so I'll have to trim it up. It's going to go on the mill on the same side so it gets cross sections through the crotch. So we'll have to trim it up a little bit on either edge of those to make it fit on the mill. But it's going to be an interesting one. Then we have these 3 pieces over here. Those are all going to get cut into dimensional lumber. I think I'll get some stuff out of that. The first one's got this side on it that's not very good, but we'll work around it.
Let's get cutting, eh? So you're seeing this cut in real time. If I showed you all of the cuts that I have to do in real time, we would be here for a very, very long time. So subsequent cuts, I'm going to speed them up a little bit so we don't all grow old and die while we're watching this. Okay, hopefully you can see this. Here's one of those little rot pockets, but that's not what I'm showing here. This is the Madrona. This is inside, this is 3 cuts into it. This stuff right here, the black lines, that's called spalting. So that's the beginning stages of when a wood rots, and it's actually kind of desirable in a piece of wood. It's looking pretty good, actually, all things considered. It's looking better than I thought it would. Yeah, let's throw some water on it, see how it looks with that. Oh, see, that really makes that color pop when you do that. It's a pretty piece of wood. Okay, we'll go for the next one. I got one more 1-inch slab we're going to cut. Then I'm going to cut 2 2¼ and that'll take us down to just above the pith. This Madrona is mighty heavy wood. My back really doesn't like me much when I lift too much of it.
So I think these two pieces, this one and the one sitting on top of the log here, that's a 2¼ inch slab I've got sitting on top of that. I think those are our money pieces. They are looking mighty fine. So we can look here. The white plus, or the white cross there, is the pith of the tree. That's the very center of the tree. That's always where the wood is the worst. It's where it's most prone to splitting. When I start, I'm going to flip this thing over and cut it from the other side now, and well, we're going to get some crap with this, but it is what it is. Okay, we're on side 2 now. Got a lot of the root swell at the bottom of this. I shimmed up the narrow end on the first cut so I could get the pith going straight through the tree. So now we're going to take some of that extra off on this side now. So anyhow, the plan on this side is the very bottom piece is going to be a 2½ inch thick piece, and I suspect that not much of that will be worth much because it's got the pith in it. I may be able to cut the edges out of it. And then after that, a bunch of 1-inch slabs. So let's give her a shot, eh? Getting down in it again. Still a lot of nice spalting in it. And on this end, we're kind of getting closer to that bad part. This band right here is the rotten part coming in. You can see where it's going to join it up right here. When I pull this board off, we'll see more. Okay, I pulled the board off. Now you can kind of see where that rot part is coming through. Not a problem, there's still a lot of good wood in there. Okay, the good news is that rot pocket doesn't go up too far, just up to right around here. So that's good. Still a lot of nice spalting, a lot of good wood in here. Even this end's not so bad. Okay, this is log number 2 of the Madrona, the second of the pieces. It also has that same rot pocket in it, so the best pieces are going to come from above that. I'll get some stuff from below it, and it's going to have some of that pocket in it. We'll have to see how far that pocket goes in, but I'm pretty sure it goes up to this hole right here, so about 2 feet into the log. It might go up above it a little bit, but not much. Anyhow, let's get this baby rolling.
At around 7 minutes in this video, I was talking to you about how I use shims under the log to get the pith level through the cut. You can see the shim that I'm using in these shots. Once again, she's looking pretty good.
Better than I thought. Little crack right there. Not bad though. Of course we have to dry it. Still got to get through the dry process. Spalting again. Yeah, let's keep cutting. Here's one of the money pieces. Nice looking. We'll throw some water on it and see how that looks. That pops the color so well. Unfortunately, the rot pocket that we're trying to stay above did get into the back side of that. I'll turn that over here in a second. We'll show you that. So here's the mating piece that one just came off of, and you see I got this rot pocket right here, and it goes probably an inch into the other board. Unfortunate, but yeah, you put it on the bottom. Okay, so that last cut got me into that pocket you see here on the end. You can see it going all the way up through here. Right over here is that cut that started it all. I'm sure that happened long before the tree was taken down. Okay, next one's on. You can see it's got a big old dog leg in it. It's real high on both ends and low in the middle. So we call those the horns when it's pointed up like that. I'm going to cut the horns out of this. And so we're going to cut it till we get good wood in the middle of that. And all that stuff on the ends will turn into firewood. This log does have a pretty gnarly split running through it, so that's going to cause problems. Plus it's got this part where something broke off the tree at some point. Now you can see why they call them horns. I have flipped over the log, and I'll now cut the belly out. I have flipped the log 90 degrees, so the cut edges are now front and back. Now we'll take the top off. Now we are squaring up the fourth and last side of the log. Okay, so what we have here now is called a cant, C-A-N-T. So you take a round log and turn it into a square block of wood. Now I'm going to take a bunch of 1-inch slabs off of this until I get near the bottom, and the last piece will be a 2 1/4. Okay, here's our bottom board out of that cant. Not bad, not great. And there's most of our pile of lumber. There's another piece behind me.
You may be asking yourself, how do I get these heavy logs onto my sawmill bed? I am standing behind a small winch that you would have on your boat trailer. This one has a 600-pound capacity. If you look carefully, the line comes off the winch, goes over the top of the log, and around under it back to the post the winch is on. This means I get double the capacity, or 1,200 pounds of pull. That is way more than I need to roll these logs up this ramp.
Okay, log 4. Okay, this is the 4th log on the mill, which happens to be the 3rd log up the tree. So the 3rd section that came out of the tree. It's got some issues. There's a lot of little inclusions in it. We'll see what we get.
I need to roll this log over so the 4th and final uncut side is up. Now I need to adjust the log stops so I don't hit them with the blade. That is very bad, and yes, I have done that.
Okay, we're starting to get into that right there. See it showing up right here.
Giving myself a little more room to get past the log clamp, and also making sure I won't hit it. Okay, well, today is the day that I'm going to move all the Madrona out of the pre-dryer and into the kiln. So a fair amount of Madrona there. And we'll put that all on this cart, and then we'll move it into the kiln. Pretty simple, huh? First thing is take all the weights off of it. Some nice looking wood. So these are called stickers. Put them between the wood so that air can flow around the pieces of wood. Two nice thick ones on there. Unfortunately, this one over here is got some pretty gnarly splits in it. So that one really won't become much in the long run. Okay, here's my load. Just need to put the weights on top of it now and push it into the kiln. Okay, fully weighted now. It's 18 blocks that are about, I don't know, 20 pounds each, I suppose. Next step, push it in with the tractor. There she is. Okay, my last big piece of Madrona. This is the crotch piece off the top of the large log that we picked up the other day. I've cut a little bit off of both sides so that it would fit on the mill. I can cut 22 inches with the mill, and I've now got it down to about 21. So that'll work. So we'll cut this side till we get a good flat on it. Then we'll roll it over and set the flat on the bunks, and then cut the rest of it from the other side. Did you see the log move? That is not good because the cut will not be flat. Let's see that again. Coming up, right there. The problem that creates is a slightly helical surface. I'll make another cut off camera to true it up. It is trued up now. I'll do one more cut on this side to have a bigger flat side to sit on. Let's turn this big old chunk over and cut her from the other side. Looks good, doesn't she? Well, that is a thing of beauty, no doubt about that. Real nice spalting in it.
Good grain direction as it gets into that crotch. This is the last piece on right now, 2-inch thick chunk. We ran over here, and I got another big pile down over here. Yeah, that's all the stuff right above it that I cut from this side. And this is the stuff I cut from the other side. It's all going to be nice. Some splits. It's unavoidable. Anyhow, that's what it is. Okay, got kind of an oddball piece this time. Not very straight. First cut, I'm going to cut that big belly out of it. And then we'll flip it over and cut the horns off the other side. Then we'll do the front and back, get those, and see what we got left once we get our cant. It's not going to be a whole lot, but we'll do it.
Unfortunately, I had a little camera problem and I didn't get cutting the horns and the belly out of it, but you've seen that before, so not a big deal. We're on to side 3 now. Okay, well, this has been kind of a long process. Today it is the 21st of September. The first clips you saw in this video were taken on the 19th of July, so it's been a fairly long process. But today is the day we pull the wood from the kiln, and it should be all nice and dry and all ready to use at this point. So let's get started on that. Okay, well, let's go open this kiln, eh? There is a lot of Madrona. So I don't think I've shown you the back of the kiln. So when you look at the kiln, here's my door in, and this is the back of the kiln. So this is where all the controls are. This control and this control are 2 different sets of fans. This one controls the fans that just circulate the air within the kiln, and this one controls the fans that go on when it gets too hot in there and I want to cool it off a little bit. So up high on here there's these vents, and inside the vent I have fans. You can see it in there. And so the second control controls that. I don't know why the disparity between this 88.1 and 85.4, those 2 probes are right next to each other inside of there. Usually they're closer than that, but not always. This one seems to be changing over here a lot too. This other control is just a timer control for those fans. So during the winter, when it never gets very warm in here, I turn the fans on for a few hours every day just to circulate air. So the first thing we're going to do is take this baffle out of the way, pull it back here behind the kiln so that I can pull the cart out that has all the wood on it. Okay, I now have the baffle, the plastic baffle, pulled out of the way so that I am now clear to pull the cart out of there. For that, I'm going to go grab the tractor. Okay, next step is to move all those bricks. They'll go all over in the pile right over here. Now I have a whole lot of stickers I gotta move. So here's where we are. Madrona's sort of a tough wood. You get a lot of this kind of stuff going through it. So, I mean, the wood looks nice, just that it's got a lot of cracks in it. This big old thick slab, this is a 2.25 inch slab. It's cracked pretty good. We see we're pretty close to the center on that. If we were a little farther from the center, that'd probably be a better shot. I try not to put the pith in them, but sometimes the pith runs really strange through the trees. Plus you can see that, you know, it's not really a very straight piece to begin with. Okay, well, let's unload some of it and see what we have. Okay, so we're down a few levels. I really wish I could say we're seeing better wood, but an awful lot of imperfections in this. We got a knot right here, and that just started with the big old split there. Splits all along here and here, there. See another one right here. I mean, the wood looks nice, but you're not going to get big pieces out of it. Okay, here's where the wood is going for now. Okay, so one here on the left and the one right below it, they're both really nice boards. It's got a little bit of checking on the end, just cut that off. One below it's similar. Now going over here to these larger width pieces. These two right here look pretty good too. Gotta get my shadow out of this. Probably should be on the other side. Oh well, here's what it is. So those two look pretty nice. I have some faith in this stuff. This big one right here, whereas the end of it down here, right down in here, is pretty crappy, but the rest of it's nice. That was that big rot pocket that I was talking about early on in this video. Okay, down a couple more layers here. These are starting to look pretty good. You know, there are definitely issues in that. Look at that one. And that one. Those are both pretty nice. Okay, I'm reloading the kiln with the wood from my pre-dryer, and that pile of wood, where there's lots of different types of wood in there, it does have the last two pieces of Madrona. The piece you're looking at here is that big crotch piece, which is really a beautiful piece of wood. Got splits down here. I don't know what to do about that. Anyhow, so that, and then the other is these pieces right here. That's another Madrona log. So that'll go on top of this pile. Hasn't been stacked right yet. And that will be it for the Madrona. And also, that will be it for this video. I'm going to close it up after this. So, hope you enjoyed it. You take care. We'll talk to you again soon.